Welcome to my little victory garden, where the tomatoes are thriving, the onions are reconsidering their life choices, and the grapes have decided to show off early. It's May, everything is thriving, growing, or giving up, and I'm just trying to keep up. Let's take a walk through the garden and see how things are looking. So first off, I might have been too hasty in predicting the demise of this watermelon I transplanted. He's still struggling. I'll probably give him some water this evening and see how he does tomorrow. But so far, he's trying. And look at that. Rotten bug eggs. They must go. Hopefully just lodging them was sufficient. So this is where I had my tomatoes last year. This year it's going to be melons and long beans. But I'm noticing a lot of growth on these long beans, but no flowers yet. I'm a little concerned that I'm still having the soil problems. I have ordered some fertilizer that's high in potassium that hopefully will help. We will see. But the tomatoes over here are still putting lots of leaves and plenty of nitrogen here. But I'm also seeing lots of flowers, you can see. And where is it? Where is it? There. You see that? It's attempting to make a little tomato. There's a couple more in here, but these are cherry tomatoes. They're so very tiny still. I'm just excited to see them. And we have some chamomile. It looks like it's starting to flower here. And that's it's a Lottie Lamb or something. I can't remember how it's pronounced. But you can see I've got lots of tomato flowers coming up. The basil over here is huge. I've probably got too many tomatoes in here. Look at this. This is the mortgage lifter. Can you see all those flowers? I'm really hoping that they turn into some tomatoes. And going down here, we have, I think this is my butternut squash, and then this little tiny one over here is my Clubonsino squash. It had sprouted previously and a cutworm got it, so I've had to put another seed in the ground, which is why it is so much smaller than my butternut squash. And you can see some basil popping up over there, which I'm just going to let happen. And we're going through this really fast, but I've got peppers in the grow bags. As this gets shaded, I will probably move these to other areas, but right now this is convenient for me to walk through. Here's those sweet peppers. Let's see if we can, yeah, there. See that? They're getting huge. I'm very happy. And then across over here, we've got kale, my one kohlrabi that decided to sprout. This is the strawberry spinach. It is having some strain from the heat. I'm probably going to harvest that this week. Well, some of it, and also, well, make sure it gets some more water. It did rain over the weekend, but until this gets a little more shade, I feel like I need to baby it. It's supposed to be a pretty heat-tolerant green. Never eaten it, but I've seen photos of it, and it was so pretty that I wanted to grow it. But my cucumbers are putting on flowers here and here. You can see some little baby cucumbers. I hope they'll turn into cucumbers. And over here we have potatoes. These are the Yukon Golds. They look gorgeous. I'll show you the others later. The French fingerlings, they're not quite so happy. I've got eggplants over here, and this one random carrot that I planted in the fall and didn't decide to sprout until a few weeks ago. Well, yeah. Here is one of the kale plants. I've had it since fall. I took out the others over here because they were crowding out the eggplant and also were getting eaten by bugs. But I'm still making more kale than we can possibly eat at this point. I still have the 2 younger plants that are going well, and then another older one I'll show you later. And zinnias. I might have put too many zinnias in this bed, but they're so pretty. And this is my African blue basil. One of my classmates from the Master Gardener class gave this to me. I'm very excited about it, but I didn't realize how big it was going to get. I should have. I grow enough basil. But under it, over here, and I'm going to have to cut this back and make some cuttings, but this is my ground cherry. You see I'm not sure if these things actually are going to make fruit because I didn't have a pollinator in place. I finally got one here. I had other seedlings. They kept getting eaten or attacked by cutworms. And so here it is. We got this one now. But I'm excited about all the zinnias, even though they're probably going to crowd everything out and I'll have to cut them back. But I've got them. And then these are my bell peppers. I think all my bell peppers are on the ground here. And most of these are things like paprikas, some cayenne, jalapenos. I've got jalapenos also over by the grapes. So these are beans. This is, I've got garlic here that look really sad. I'm gonna have to pull these. I pulled a couple last week and they had not bulbed up appropriately, but it looks like some of them have just kind of died. I'm having this problem with all my alliums. As you can see, my onions look just as pitiful and sad. I've been pulling them as I needed onions because, yeah, I might need to buy seed garlic though next year. I haven't bought seed garlic in years. I've just been using what I had, but those look really sad. And my garlic has never done this before. I don't know what's going on. But I'm going to pull those soon and put okra in. Of course, I'm going to top it with some compost. My shallots are doing just fine. Just those onions. I don't know what happened. Anyone have any idea what happened to those? I am all ears. This is my Malakia, or Egyptian spinach, the seeds were gifted to me. This is the one that I kept. I gave a lot away because I don't know if I'm going to like it yet. I'm looking forward to trying it though. I think I need to start cutting it back now. This is that sunchoke that I bought as kind of a spur of the moment thing. Hopefully it does well in the grow bag, and I might see about building a raised bed specifically for it next year. Let's see, do we want to go right or left? Let's go for right for now. So this is my Cowart muscadine. It is putting on some grapes. See that? Right there. They're very, very tiny. Let's put on something. I hadn't expected any of my grapes to do anything. I'll show you the other one later. This is my Greek oregano I've had for a few years now. And interspersed with all this, you'll see asparagus. I haven't started harvesting asparagus. I'll do that next spring. So I'm just kind of letting it go. There's some zinnias in here. You'll probably see some basil plants. This is my fry muscadine. This one actually needs a pollinator, which is what the Cowart's for. This one's supposed to put on like those golden color muscadine grapes. It's not flourishing as much as the Cowart, and it doesn't look like it's going to try to put on grapes this year. I'm okay with that because I didn't expect any grapes this year. I thought next year I might see something. Let's see. This is my barbecue rosemary, which I'm pretty excited about. I do have another rosemary plant on the other side of the yard, which I will show later. And then, oh, you see it? I've got a little basil plant growing right there. I've got basil everywhere, just telling you. At one point, I just started throwing out seeds to see what happened. So, yes, basil's everywhere. And then we get into the blackberries. Now, these on this end, my Chester and Triple Crown, I think kind of got mixed up. The Arapaho down there is more upright, so haven't had a problem. It is an early producer where these other two are late producers. They should be making berries in July and August. But I'll talk about the Arapaho a little bit later. This is the volunteer zinnia. I did not throw these seeds up. This is what came up from last year. It's a beautiful flower. It is in the middle of my path. And until it becomes so big that it is a problem, I'm leaving it. It's one of the few things currently blooming that is not a vegetable or fruit. So I'm pretty excited, and it just gets to stay for now. And this is the other side of those. Very sad looking garlic. I'm actually kind of curious. What is this? If I can pull it up. Yeah, it's garlic. I'm not sure it's properly bulbed up, but these things are very obviously dead at this point. I don't guess we got enough cold to have them make all the little different cloves. So one thing I'm excited about is you see these blackberries. It's the 12th of May, and some of these little babies are getting ready to ripen. This thing is not supposed to normally produce until June. So very excited about my blackberries deciding to produce early. Now in these grow bags that I have in this pathway are the potatoes, those French fingerling potatoes. I mentioned they weren't doing as well. As you see, they do not look near as lush as those. I tried harvesting one of them. I got less than 3 ounces worth of mini potatoes. They were delicious, but I'm going to wait and see if I can get better out of these. And here's the other side of those eggplants. Aren't they exciting? And then I had a garden huckleberries here that got eaten by something. I'll need to figure out what to plant in this area. And so this was that Bells of Ireland that was growing in the pathway. And I put in the garden bed. I'm surprised it's actually survived this long. But I didn't really need to, because look at all of those. I mean, that is a massive plant. And it's growing up around my Texas tarragon here. And that's pretty much all I've got in this area. I've got a little spider plant I need to figure out how to get hung in the house. We have some more beans over here. And this is a Creole tomato. And let's go see the rest of the garden. Okay, so these are all the things I've got in pots this year. I've got a couple of plumeria. That is the catmint there. Yes, we are growing that for the cats. Got some chives, pineapple mint, orange mint. I harvested some of this morning for tea. Oh my gosh, it makes an amazing tea. I'm so happy. This is my bonfire peach. It is putting on some fruit. This used to be ginger mint, but it died and it came back as spearmint. I'm very disappointed. I'm on the lookout for some more ginger mint. And then that's my mojito mint and my lemon verbena I'm so excited about the lemon verbena. That is my wife's hibiscus. She keeps buying tropical hibiscus. This is my prickly pear. It has grown massively, and the sad part is I'm not sure this is where I want it to be. My wife planted it here last year before. It has loved the spot, but I have the purple prickly pear on the side of the house, along with things like yucca and other drought-tolerant plants, and I think I want to move that there, but I'm not sure how I'm going to do it as big as it's gotten so quickly. As you can see, I am dismantling the green stalks still. I've got some potatoes. After I dismantled them, the potatoes decided they really wanted to grow. So I'm going to wait for them to die out, and then these are going to get cleaned out and sold. I'm sad that this didn't work out for me. I was very excited about the prospect, and I know it works for a lot of other people, but ultimately I am a lazy gardener and this was too much work. But I'm hoping that I can find a good home for them with someone who will thoroughly enjoy growing in the green stalks. And over here is my apple tree. It started leaning a lot, hence the stake. And I was surprised that it has apples growing on it. I'm going to have to thin these out. As young as this tree is, I don't think it can handle more than one apple per branch. It'll just break. But it's doing pretty well. And then on top of that, it started to flower again. You see, it's kind of hard to see in this light around here. But yeah, it started flowering again last week. So it really wants to put on apples this year. And I know Texas fruit producers are dealing with not having enough cold hours to produce some things, but this red Rome I got from Stark Brothers doesn't seem to need a whole lot of cold hours. Of course, my lemon balm is huge. I put in a pineapple sage here, and we have zinnias, of course. These were volunteers from the plant I had here last year. And then we've got the sunflower. I've got, what is the name of it again? I can't remember the name of it. I'm going to blame my migraine meds. You grow it and you use it to make a compost tea kind of thing. And you also, it's great for comfrey. That's the word I'm looking for, comfrey. It's good for bug bites, which is good because I found a yellow jacket in my shirt today when I went back into the house, and it had tucked itself under my jacket. Whoop. Fortunately, it didn't get me. The cats found it when it escaped. And this is my lemon thyme, which, by the way, I felt the thing crawling around there, and I kind of shook my shirt, and it comes flying out, and then the cats start chasing something, and that's when I realized, oh my gosh, that's a yellow jacket. But yeah, so my lemon thyme, I love it. This is another one of my wife's hibiscus. She repotted this, and bless her, I've been sorting through my compost my compost, sifting it out to top with over there where my onions and garlic are. And she decided when potting up, she was going to use it to pot up her plants instead of the potting soil. So I need to start sifting some more compost. And you can see we've still got chaos going on. These bricks are going to be making a pathway through here. There's my mint that grows in the ground. I know everyone tells me that I shouldn't have mint growing in the ground, but unfortunately, it's not as aggressive as Bermuda grass. And I'm usually pulling Bermuda grass out of the mint bed instead of dealing with mint in my grass. I hate Bermuda grass. I will find a way to get rid of this. This is my rosemary I've had for a couple of years. Behind it is the French thyme. They're both getting huge. There's my rue that I still rue planting. And then my spicy oregano. And there's my sage that needs to be cut back dramatically. It might help me combat the fungal disease on my rose if I could get that. Now, you'll notice all the red leaves. That is not rose rosette disease. That is just new growth. But yeah. And then my lavender here is putting on things. This, I have a plan for it. My wife painted it. I'm going to use it as a trellis for my Malabar spinach when I get ready to plant that. But that's going in a new bed that I'm putting up, hopefully in a couple of weeks. We'll see. Here's some more lavender. This is my Suffolk grape. Also not yet producing grapes, but I'm not surprised. That's fine. And then we've got my jalapenos and more zinnias. I love zinnias. They are such beautiful flowers. And then behind it is morning glory. I had morning glory in this spot 12 years ago. And my lawn people kept pulling it up and it went away. And I didn't have morning glories for years. And then last year, after more than 10 years of no morning glories, up comes the morning glories. And they are those pretty little white and purple morning glories I had 12 years ago. So, yeah, those seeds can last forever, it seems. It's growing on the other side of the fence as well. I am actually now not wanting it and cutting it back so that the grapes can thrive. And I'll take care of that later when it's cooler. More zinnias that are way too close together because I just randomly threw seeds out. But to get what I'm truly excited about, look, I have grapes. This is my Red Flame seedless grape. And it's got grapes. I'm not supposed to have grapes yet. And that's not the only bunch. See, we've got them back here and a few there. Can you see that? It's kind of hard for me to see if I'm getting this in there for you because the sunlight is so bright today. But there's some right there. See them? So grapes. I'm going to have grapes. I don't know. I'm going to have grapes. I didn't expect any. So excited about this. And that's the May report. Some thriving, some ripening, and some just giving up, just like the rest of us.